Dylan, what's the next movie we watched?
The next movie we watched was something about Ferris Bueller. Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
What could it be? What happened to Ferris Bueller?
You know what's really
what was
funny?
he doing?
I was actually kind of excited to watch this movie because my mom, like, ever since I graduated high school, she's like, "Oh, you ever seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off?" Like, "Oh, you should really watch it. I think you'd really like this movie." Like, constantly.
I would bet money that all of our moms love this movie.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, totally. They all love Ferris, man.
I mean,
He was the kid they always wanted.
literally, okay, I remember this comment was made very late into the movie, but I remember, like, leaning over to Nico and Jackson at some point. I'm like, dude, this guy has a fucking plus 20 in charisma because he just fucking talks to anybody and just does whatever the fuck he wants. Like, at one point, he takes over a parade float and starts playing whatever music he wants and sings, and everybody's into it, and his dad's all the way up in the fucking, like, building above him, and, like, doesn't, and it's just, like, they get away with so much shit. But,
I mean, listen, man, he can talk directly to the audience. This is Ferris Bueller's world, and we're all living in it.
Yeah, I thought The Fourth Wall was pretty funny. I don't get to usually see a lot of movies with Matthew Broderick in it. I think the only other movie that I can remember him being in, I'm sure I've watched another one, but the only other movie I remember him being in is the Godzilla movie of 1998.
Right.
But, I mean, overall, I just think it's, like, really funny, like, the conveniences, and, like, normally people would probably, like, in a movie, like, oh, of course this happened, but that's kind of what the whole movie's about. Like, all this stuff happens, and, like, he gets away with it because that's how it's supposed to be, and I think that's what makes the movie entertaining.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I get what you're saying. What's interesting to me is I am, like, on record as notoriously hating slice of life films, and I'm also tired of fourth wall films. But for some reason, I really like this movie. I don't know if it's because I'm able to go into it and say, okay, this is, like, probably one of the first movies to do fourth wall break and stuff. And that made it better, but...
Fun fact, it's also one of the first movies to have a post-credit scene in it.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's cool.
Scene?
No, he didn't.
Damn.
You should have told us.
I did.
Whoopsies.
But yeah, I think the humor in this movie really holds up. Both, like, the dialogue humor and the physical humor. I thought it was pretty good. Like,
Honestly, though, Tanner, like, I know Dylan was laughing at literally every joke that came on during the film. However, I don't think I laughed a single time. I laughed more during Take Me Home Tonight than Ferris Bueller's Day Off, man.
Get out of here.
I thought the comedy was just better done there, dude.
There's no way.
There's no way. That's impossible.
Like, at least Take Me Home Tonight gave me, like, an audible, like, chuckle, you know? Where Ferris Bueller's Day Off, like, I could acknowledge when a joke was funny, but none of it made me laugh.
I think you just go into stuff that you know is popular looking for reasons to hate on it.
That's not true, Tan. That's not true.
Your tone makes me believe otherwise.
Alright, let's see what I got written down here. The faking sex scene was funny. I chuckled at that. Just his super exaggerated way that he talks to his parents. Where he's like,
yeah, the baby voice.
Thank you, mother.
Here's the thing about that
the
shit,
fuck.
okay? Here's the thing about that shit.
Yeah.
The entire time, he would, like, be in his bed, like, interacting with his parents and stuff. I couldn't help but think the entire time, like, that's a man, okay? That's a fully grown man. He is not in high school.
To be fair, this movie is old enough that, like, people did just kind of look older at every possible age. Like,
Well, he
his
was
parents
25
are probably 20.
when this movie came out.
That's fair. That's fair enough.
He was older than us.
That's why they never actually have him go inside the high school. Then it would become even more too noticeable. Let's see. Comedies are tough to review because I just want to write down quotes.
Yeah, that's fair, dude.
That's a meta review note. Let's see. That jump cut to Cameron in his car was, like, perfectly done. What was it? Oh, it was when Ferris was like, you know, I bet Cameron is sitting in his car right now debating whether or not he's going to come over here. And it cuts to him in his car. He's like... that got me pretty good. Let's see.
Tanner, what'd you think of Cameron, by the way?
I thought Cameron was very funny, for one. I laughed at a lot of his hijinks and mannerisms. He's a weird-looking dude. He's got a very unique look to him, you know?
Yeah. I can see that. I just can't help but kind of feel bad for the guy throughout this entire film.
That's me.
I mean,
that's
hey.
the point of it, though.
He's shaping up his character to stand up to his dad, and eventually he
I'm not
gets
even
over...
talking about that shit. I'm just talking about how they treat him throughout the whole movie.
True.
The guy is sick, and then out of nowhere he gets a call from his friends like, okay, I guess I have to go do some bullshit now today.
True, he's not the main character in his own life, but it is interesting. He's the one who gets the character arc.
Yeah.
Like Ferris Bueller, he doesn't have a character
Yeah,
arc
Ferris
at
Bueller is
all.
unchanging. He is literally a perfect golden god in
Yeah,
this
he is
world.
the apex character of this movie. He doesn't need to change.
Yeah. Let's see. When they get... What's the girl's name?
Who cares? She's
Simone?
hot.
Simone?
Yeah, something
Sybil?
like that.
Shimon.
I can't remember. But whatever it is, when he makes out with her in front of the principal,
Oh my god, yeah.
and he thinks that he's his dad.
I was like, there's no way he's getting
That's
away
how they
with
do it in their
that.
family.
That's so funny. Fuck, what when was this line?
We'll say it, we might be able to tell you.
Oh yeah, that's right. When the sister like knocks the cup of change out of the guy's hand who's trying to collect money for for Ferris, and then he says some bullshit, but then he ends off with "You heartless wench." Dude, I laughed so fucking hard at "You heartless wench." It's not even funny. Here's an interesting question for you guys.
Okay.
Do you guys relate more to Ferris or Cameron?
Cameron,
Cameron.
easy. I wish I had half his charisma, guy.
Yeah. Ferris is so outgoing. There's no way.
Dude, the amount
I
of
would
love
be
this kid
objectively
has.
lying if I said otherwise. And I don't think I relate to Cameron that much. It's just that I relate to Ferris even.
Yeah, I think
little.
that's more of the case here. Is like exactly what Jackson said.
I gotcha. What about you, Nico?
It's really hard to say, man, ultimately, because, like, I don't relate to Cameron whatsoever. I feel like,
Right.
I feel like Ferris's crafty demeanor, though, really suits me a bit more, though.
I have hardcore main character syndrome, so I relate to Ferris.
There you go, dude.
Even split, nice.
Nice, I guess.
Where did this all-black dance crew come from? That was
They
during the
were-
parade
Plot
scene?
convenience.
Yeah, they were at the top of the stairs, and now they're at the bottom of the stairs.
Right, yeah. Wait, someone hired a hooker for Ferris?
That's
Yep.
Is that what we were...
Who-
Is that... Who are those other people with her, though?
That was her band of merry men. Yeah, that confused me so much. There are so many parts throughout this film that kind of just shocked me overall, because I was under the impression, like, because like all fucking parents everywhere love this movie.
Right.
I definitely
Yeah.
thought this was more of a family film, but it's there's quite a bit of swearing throughout it, and there are like these weird scenes like that one where I'm like,
Yeah.
Wh-
It
What?
definitely it walks the tight wire on that for
Yeah.
sure. Like
While
I
we're-
wouldn't be showing my small kids this, or maybe I would. I don't
While
know.
we're on kind of
They
this
wouldn't
little
get it.
this little portion here, can we just like acknowledge the fact, like why and how does Ferris Bueller have such an impact on the entirety of this city that in every newspaper headline and all the like the big screen TVs and like news flashes, everything on the fucking baseball stadium and everything, like everybody's like, oh my gosh, everybody pray for Ferris Bueller, he has to feel better, he's sick, we need to make sure why the fuck does everybody care? How is this kid this popular that everybody in town cares about him?
well, it's because they think he has like fucking cancer or something.
Yeah, they think he's like super sick, like he's dying, and
Like-
he just has a lot
Yeah.
of people that like reached out for him, and
Yeah,
then it
this
just kind of
kid
like
is-
spread like wildfire.
This kid is more popular than any like superhero in their own movie. It's ridiculous.
That's like factually true, actually. Yeah.
I was thinking about that. I was like there's no way that everybody cares, like especially in a newspaper and the news and everything. It's just, I think that's what also made the movie so funny, is like how much
yeah.
comically everybody cares about him.
The degree to which the world revolves around it. Like even the principal's assistant, she mentions that he's loved by like literally every clique in the school.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
it's like-
for no aforementioned
They
reason.
all think he's a righteous dude.
Yeah, like no reason. There's no explanation. They're just like, oh, everybody loves him.
They just like him, man. He's a cool guy.
Yeah.
That's one thing
Let's
they
see.
mentioned, by the way, and they were talking about like all the different cliques. They're like, yeah, the sluts, they love him.
We all know who they're talking about, you know.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm at the scene where he starts running home. Goddamn, he jumped that fence like a fucking pro. Did you see him clamber that fence when he first started running?
Yes.
That was crazy. He literally like hopped over it. It didn't make any sense. I wonder if they had a stunt double do that, because that was...
Matthew Broderick does his own stunts.
Okay, so I feel like through most of the movie, the music was really good at like setting the tone of the scene or matching the tone of the scene, except for this like running home scene. The music did not feel very good here.
Yeah, for whatever reason, they had like fucking Aerosmith's Don't Want to Miss a Thing playing in the background. I don't really understand the music choice there.
Yeah, no. Now, obviously, I caught that they played the Star Wars theme when the two guys had stolen his car. Was all of the music in this movie from other movies?
Yes.
Not gonna lie, I was not paying that much attention to the movie.
I didn't even know they played a Star Wars song.
You didn't hear them loudly play the main Star Wars theme when the guys were driving the car and they were going crazy in it?
Jackson doesn't know anything about Star Wars.
Or
he was just paying too much attention to the car itself. It's really up in the air on that one.
How was the car, Jackson? Give me 1 minute of car talk.
Well, it was a replica. That car is like, obviously it's a replica. That car is like $15 million or something ridiculous. It is so fucking expensive. And because of that, the entire movie, I was just so stressed out about this car. Like, I just could not stop thinking about it. They're doing all these crazy hijinks, and all that's on my mind is, oh my god, I hope they're not completely fucking destroying that car. And then they drove through the window, and I was like,
in retrospect,
no.
in that same scene, I love the logic of if we lift the car and put it in reverse, that'll like take off miles. And I'm like, I don't think that makes sense in any time period.
I like how that's a joke they set up at the very beginning of the movie. And then, they have the car sitting there in reverse for like 30 seconds. They're like talking about something else, but anyone who knows that's not how it works, you're kind of like silently laughing to yourself because you're like, these idiots, that's not doing anything.
They're gonna blow up like the transmission or the drivetrain or some shit.
Literally just destroying the fucking car too, just like having it banging out the red limiter for like 30 minutes. Like, that's destroying a car, like especially that car that didn't get driven at all. Like, there's no way that car could take that. That thing's gonna blow up regardless if they drove it up a fucking cliff or not.
Tanner, did you notice how, like, the only minorities who really have a speaking role in this movie are the carjackers? Problematic, I say. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, more like Ferris Bueller, take a hike, pal.
Isn't Ferris Bueller himself Jewish?
His parents are rich, so I think it checks out.
Okay.
What?
We're gonna let that one slide, Jackson. We can't have you keep doing that kind of stuff here.
That was really tame!
You get one per episode, Jackson. You're only allowed to make that joke because you're Jewish. Now, a negative I do have is I feel like this movie suddenly loses momentum at around the 1 hour mark.
They start dealing with Cameron and his bullshit.
Yeah, when they start making it like an emotional, what's wrong with Cameron? When it does that, I'm like, okay, now it's a bit slow now.
But he got to see her naked, Tanner.
He did, but we didn't.
I'm surprised that Ferris was just okay with that. He's like, oh, you saw my girlfriend naked? Not a big deal. Like,
he's a true alpha. He has zero fear that she will go anywhere but him.
I'm just surprised that she was okay with it.
It was a different time, man. This was the 80s.
You know what? You're right. I forgot about that.
All right. Anyone else's notes? Anyone else want to talk about how hot Ferris's girlfriend is? Anybody? Come on.
She was pretty hot. Ferris's sister was hotter, though.
That's not true at all.
No
I was
way.
going to say that's objectively false.
Yeah, that's just wrong. You're outweighed here. I'm sorry, Tanner.
Whatever,
then again, at one point I also said that Ferris's sister kind of looked like my mom did back in like those older pictures. So like,
well, I didn't know that when I said that. Okay.
Tanner, what are you saying, man?
Shut the fuck up. My last note is this movie is still super funny. Both the dialogue and visual gags consistently land, and I really liked it.
Yeah.
So, do you guys have anything else to say about this movie?
I feel like the parade scene just went on for really long.
It was a lengthy scene. He did 2 songs.
He did. I don't know. I definitely felt like I got the joke pretty early, and then I was like, okay,
Yeah.
let's wrap this up. And then it was just like so long. You just kept
Charisma
fucking
out the
going.
ass, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
He has got the Riz, you know.
I'm just saying, like, literally everybody in town...
Ferris Bueller.
Dude, all I'm saying is everybody in town knows he's sick and possibly dying of sickness. But everybody sees him at the fucking parade.
Well, they don't even. I doubt they fucking know what this kid looks like. They probably just know the name.
Yeah.
It's like there's some random.
I mean, his
kid
high
out there.
school, compatriots would know at least.
Yeah, but they're not the the party. They're
I
not
don't
at the
know, man.
parade because they're at school.
Inconsistent
Dude, like every
acknowledgement.
one of these students, whenever they go home and like their parents talk about asking about their day, all they do is talk about Ferris Bueller and all of his daily antics. You know, that's all
True.
these people know about.
That's fair.
Alright, boys, you want to rank Ferris Bueller's Day Off here now?
Sure.
Yes,
Let's
I still
do it.
need to think about my ranking though.
Damn.
Fantastic.
I'm in between
dude.
two ranks, so let me hear what everyone else has to say
Sweet,
first.
Dylan, you go first. What's your ranking?
I don't know. I'm floating around A- or A. Like, I didn't have a ton of issues with the movie. But, I think I'll go with A.
Okay.
Fancy you say that, Dylan, because I'm also saying A.
A.
I would lie if I said that car didn't make me incredibly uncomfortable and it kind of ruined some scenes of the movie, man. I'm gonna be completely honest. Like when I say I was not thinking about anything but that car, I was only thinking about that car. It took up the entirety of my mind. Like I still thought the movie was funny, but I was just stressed the entire time I was watching this like funny, silly movie, just horribly like 100 BPM heart rate. That definitely
But
detracted.
surely you knew that something was going to happen to the car.
Yeah, of course I knew something was going to happen to it, but still so uncomfortable with the entire, the entire point of that. Yeah, so I'm giving it exactly an A.
Okay. Nico?
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard here. Because, like, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, it's a classic. People fucking love this movie, okay? I can understand why. I can see the charm that is present in the film. I think that it was able to, keep my engagement throughout the entire thing. I found it fairly entertaining. However, I didn't really find it funny at all, And there wasn't much to really take away from the film at the end of the day. And it was for that reason that I believe that I'm ultimately going to have to give this film a B-.
Ooh.
Call me a
crowd.
contrarian all you want.
All right, Tanner, lay it out the S+.
I mean, we have the statistical proof to back up you being a contrarian, but that's beside the point. As much as Nico going low makes me want to go high, I think I'm actually gonna go with the lower of the two ranks I was choosing between and give this movie an A+.
Let's go.
An A+. There we go. And boys, that lands this movie at an A-.
Let's go.
Whoa.